Subarus have always been pretty boxy, almost to a fault, but recently the world has gone box crazy, with vehicles like the Toyota Land Cruiser and the Honda Passport and the Hyundai Santa Fe all getting a very boxy shape. It's almost made Subaru look like a trendsetter. With the 7th generation Outback to celebrate the model's 30th anniversary, Subaru has fully embraced the box with the brand's uber-popular midsize SUV. No longer tied to the legacy platform, the Outback can work from a blank slate. It can now go full SUV. The result, though, I'm not 100% sure about quite yet. Subaru claims the new styling direction retains the brand's core principle of everyday practicality, which translates to function over form. It's a characteristic we've always appreciated from the brand, and so have many customers. The wagon-like shape of the Outback has also been very popular with customers, so switching to a more traditional SUV shape does present a risk. The Outback's boxier shape shows that Subaru is directly going after vehicles like the Honda Passport, Toyota 4Runner, and maybe even the Ford Bronco. The company has done a good job as the new Outback is slab-sided, but some character lines don't work with the rugged, chunky looks. Still, we do applaud a new styling direction as it keeps things fresh and interesting. The split headlights follow the current styling trend, with the daytime running lights on the hood line and the main headlights located separately below. There's a larger grille below a flatter hood that flows into an equally flat roof. At the side, the wheel wells are more squared off, and they have this little style detail here that on the Outback Wilderness is a more rugged material, but more on that later. The rear of the vehicle has a more upright tailgate, and it has the single light bar across the entire rear hatch, which is becoming a trademark of Subaru. And of course, it has the Subaru stamped right into the bumper, another styling trend we're seeing on more and more of the brand's SUVs. Not as dramatically different as the styling is what's under the Outback's hood. Entry-level models continue to use a 2.5-liter flat 4-cylinder engine that makes 180 horsepower and 178 pound-feet of torque. As familiar as this all sounds, the engine receives updates like the one in the 2025 Forester did, which operates much quieter in real-world testing, so hopefully the same will apply to the new Outback, and it's the same story with the CVT. It too operates quieter in the new Forester, and we're hoping for the same in the Outback. The upgrade engine remains unchanged, which isn't a bad thing as we're quite fond of the 2.4-liter turbocharged flat-4 engine that makes 260 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque. It too is coupled to a CVT, this one with an 8-speed manual shift mode. Of course, both engines only compared to Subaru's symmetrical all-wheel drive system. The new Outback also benefits from a faster locking center differential, which should allow less wheel spin when off-roading. A nice update to the 2026 Outback, despite being more SUV-like, is the addition of a version of the WX's steering rack. It should provide better feedback and more responsive steering, but we won't know that for sure until we get behind the wheel for a drive. For the first time, there are electronically controlled dampers that should improve ride quality and increase responsiveness further. Subaru also states that the lateral sway in the new Outback has been reduced by 42% compared to its predecessor. But as can be seen by the vehicle's shape, the Outback is more about off-roading, and it retains the usual Subaru 8.7 inches of ground clearance or 220 millimeters. Also standard on all Outbacks is Subaru's X mode, which should help get owners out of slippery or sticky situations. Nearly everything inside the new Outback is larger. There's more cargo space, more rear passenger space, and most importantly, more front cup holder capacity. The bottle holders in each door now offer enough room for a 32-ounce water bottle. But back to the cargo area. The specific increase is roughly 2 cubic feet, bringing the total to 34.6 cubic feet. It's also a taller opening by 2 inches, allowing the transportation of taller objects. Complementing the reduced engine noise is a reduction of wind noise by 10%, thanks primarily to more aerodynamic roof rails because they no longer have the built-in cross rails like the old model did. That said, the roof rails can still hold 800 pounds of weight when parked or 220 pounds on the move. Also growing on the Outback is the infotainment system that's now up to 12.1 inches and is no longer vertical. The even bigger news though is there is a row of physical climate control buttons below it, but we did lose the tuning knob in the process, so it's a win-lose situation. On higher trims of the Outback, there is a fully digital 12.3-inch driver information center that can be customized and looks pretty modern. Like basically any new car, wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto are standard on the Outback, and there's a wireless phone charger. Of course, the new Outback has standard eyesight driver assistance technology, which includes features like pre-collision braking, adaptive cruise control, lane departure alert, lane change assist, and more. Other newer safety systems include available emergency stop assist with safe lane selection, pre-curve speed control, highway active lane change assist, and highway automatic resume assist. The steering wheel now has haptic feedback on some Outback trim levels to deliver various safety warnings to drivers without having those annoying chimes and buzzes. The biggest news though when it comes to safety is the highway hands-free assist. At speeds up to 85 miles an hour or 145 kilometers an hour, on specific mapped highways through North America, drivers can take their hands off the wheel in the Outback while using adaptive cruise control, assuming they maintain attention to the road ahead. As mentioned, there will be a wilderness model right from the start, and here it is beside me. Like most wilderness models, it has unique styling front and rear. It has this cool kind of built-in brush bar, and there's copper accents everywhere, including around the fog lights in the front, the reverse lights in the back, and on the roof rack. The cladding is also a little different and has a rougher texture, which is designed to stand up to scratches and scuffs better. Like previous wilderness Outbacks, this one will only come with the 2.4-liter turbocharged engine, which I think better suits its personality anyway. It will have the dual mode X mode instead of the regular single mode X mode found in other Outbacks, and also comes with grippy all-terrain tires. The Outback gets more ground clearance at 9.5 inches or 241 millimeters, and for the first time ever, it has electronically controlled dampers, which works with X mode to provide even more traction in the worst conditions. To finish the off-road capability of the Outback Wilderness, it has better approach, departure, and ramp breakover angles compared to the current model. Of course, inside there is unique styling with more copper highlights, and there are the StarTech seats, which are easy to clean if they get real muddy on your adventures. But for those who don't plan on getting the insides dirty, there is now available Napa leather on the Wilderness for the first time. The new Outback will be available in Touring, Limited, Touring XT, Limited XT, and Wilderness in the United States. In Canada, the trim lineup is a little simpler with Touring, Limited XT, Wilderness, and Premier XT. More details on the Outback's final specifications and pricing will be available closer to launch, which should be before the end of this year.